Let's begin with the the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, as a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. Please ensure that your line is muted. We appreciate your cooperation. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Before we dive into our regular agenda, we'd like to recognize some special guests with us today. First, it's my pleasure to welcome Ali Zahler and Vanessa Mora from the Reeb Center. Oh, that's outstanding. The Reeb Center celebrates a decade of impactful service in Columbus's South Side. As a vital community hub, it empowers residents through education, job training, social services. Ali and Vanessa, we invite you to join us at the podium right here to my right to share more and update us about the Reeb Center's incredible accomplishments over the past 10 years. I just can't believe it's been 10 years since Reeb has opened. What a fabulous facility. The real question for us around Reeb Center is why haven't we replicated in all the four directions of this great community? What the Reeb Center is doing is just outstanding and amazing. So please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner Boyce. We're so grateful to be here after 10 years of impact. It's hard to believe. I have the same question. We're ready and willing to go across town and continue to grow this model. We know it works. Last year alone, we had 49,000 visits to the Reeb Center, to our partners, and to our direct programs. And included in that is 5,500 individual clients that were served. We're serving a majority unhoused population that is growing dramatically, not only in Central Ohio, but specifically on the South Side. We're in the 43207 zip code, the Reeb neighborhood. We are seeing a lot of folks that are opening up camps nearby our center that are in need of services, primarily basic needs, and then from there, case management, needing someone to walk with them through the services available to them, not only in the Reeb Center, but in the Central Ohio area. The Reeb Center has changed dramatically since we opened. We are now acting as more of a crisis center. We used to serve a lot of folks that needed preventative care that we were catching right before the crisis. But now we're seeing folks that are in the crisis. They have been evicted. They're going to lose their homes next week. They can't pay their taxes. And so we are advocates on the front lines saying, hey, we're seeing this growth. We need to grow our agency and resources to be able to really meet the need. And you know, our team is small but mighty. We have 11 staff. 4 frontline staff are serving folks that are coming in every day. With 9 tenants in the building, it's quite a handful, especially in the mornings. We have 300 folks coming to visit our Mid-Ohio Food Collective Kitchen Cafe. That's triple the amount of folks that were served pre-COVID. So when we're talking about need, it's very great on the South Side. I know that's not something that is unfamiliar to the commissioners. You're seeing it across Central Ohio. In the next 10 years, when we think about where we want to be, we're really thinking about the growth of our team, additional social worker support. We've partnered with Community Shelter Board to expand our team, to expand our access to resources, specifically access to housing resources, which are, you know, hard to come by, and of course, the first line of defense, the first most important way to address the need that we're seeing. So we're really grateful for the support that we're receiving. We're very optimistic about the folks that we're reaching and the success that we're having pushing folks out of crisis, pushing folks out of homelessness. It's a difficult challenge, but we take pride in the work that we're doing and the relationships that we've built, the trust that we have built on the South Side. So thank you so much for the opportunity to receive this acknowledgement. I see my colleague, my boss, Ali Zahler, just stepped into the space. So thank you, Ali, for your leadership, championing us in our work for the last 10 years.
Boss, you want to come up and say anything?
Sure.
Yeah. So that's all right.
Good morning.
Vanessa covered everything. She is an amazing colleague. Thank you all for having us here this morning. It's been a wonderful 10 years. I've actually been with the Reeb Center since we opened our doors in 2015 and got to see the growth of our organization. And as one staff member to now 11, it's just been great to have the support of our city and our county to be able to continue the great work that we're doing. As Vanessa mentioned, we are serving our highest homeless population and highest drug addicted population. And since COVID, it has been a struggle. We continue to fight the fight, and it will be an interesting year and years to come. But we are excited to continue to be a backbone agency to the south side of Columbus, bringing different organizations together and really uplift that one-stop shop model to make sure that our most vulnerable citizens can come to one location with the people that they trust in a building that they trust to receive all of those services. So thank you for having us, and we're really excited to celebrate 10 years this year. So thank you.
And thank you for your work. I don't know, Commissioner Grado may have something to add, but I'll just say, I know I speak on behalf of my colleagues when I say thank you for the partnership. Thank you for the work. And you really just can't talk about Reeb without talking and mentioning Tanny Crane and her leadership and advocacy. I think for projects like that, there's always been a lot of settlement efforts and different things on the south side, but for projects like that to take off the way they have, you need a champion, someone from the community that is not only willing to be the advocate, but to help generate the resources to do it. And that's what makes that partnership so great and so unique. As you know, Franklin County, we believe deeply in investing in addressing poverty and growing the strength of our community, those perhaps who are most vulnerable amongst us. And so I know I speak for my colleagues when I say we see you as partners, and we appreciate the work, and we're happy to recognize their work and continue the relationship for many years to come. So, Commissioner Grady, you want to add anything?
Well, Commissioner Boyce said to use the right words. Partnership's the right way to talk about it. And Tanny and Jane have always been great partners. They brought us down there from the very beginning, and you know, created partnerships on the south side with you know, and all the different organizations that are part of the Reeb Center, but also, you know, the other organizations within the neighborhood. And so, you know, they've created partnerships with all those different organizations on the south side. And so, you know, I think that was their vision from the very beginning, was creating partnerships with not just the city and the county, but all the other organizations that make up the family down there on the south side. So we appreciate being a part of it, and so thank you for all the hard work. It is pretty amazing that it's been a decade. So, but we're glad you're here today, and we're happy to help celebrate with you.
We're present with resolution right here up front. Aren't these great? It was like, you know, you get all these free things and you throw them away. I was like, this one is outstanding. I give them away, throw them away. There's some of them so cheap. Just, keep up the great work. All right. Next, we have my good friend Lisa Chambers from the National Executive Director of TechCorps. I don't know, we're getting echo there. Turn it down. Next, now I've lost my thought. Okay, here we go. Last year, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners approved a $100,000 sponsorship for TechCorps Hackathon, enabling 150 high school students to explore computer science and mobile app development. Lisa's here today to share highlights from last year's hackathon, including some of the talented students who participated. Good morning, Lisa. Good to see you.
Good morning, Commissioner Boyce. It's great to see you. So this year marked the 6th annual TechCorps Hackathon, and it was nothing short of extraordinary. Thanks to the generous support of the county, along with several public and private partners, we brought together hundreds of high school students to explore and demonstrate the transformative power of technology. This year's challenge was to design a mobile app addressing one of the United Nations sustainability goals. I'm proud to share that our students exceeded every expectation, showcasing creativity, determination, and the ability to turn big ideas into impactful solutions. The apps developed addressed a diverse range of global issues, from promoting ocean conservation and addressing food insecurity to providing job training and facilitating disaster relief. These projects exemplify the power of technology to create positive change and contribute to a more sustainable future for us all. These students reminded us that technology isn't just about coding. It's about harnessing innovation to tackle real-world problems and make our communities and the world a better place. Today, I'm joined by some of the students from the winning teams in Franklin County. These students and their parents braved this very cold morning, but these students represent 5 different Franklin County school districts and 5 different high schools. 2 remarkable, and I'd like to say brave, young innovators are now going to share remarks about their app and their hackathon experience.
My name is Ariane Bauer-Zomer. I'm a 9th grader at Mifflin High School. My reasons why you should join TechCorps is you could acquire new experience, you could gain new skills, you could meet new people, you could learn something you never did before, you could develop stuff, and you could help other people in the world.
My name is Mohammed Kitab. I'm a junior at Dublin-Side High School. I'm just going to be talking a little bit about the app we developed. So the app we developed focused on water quality. It was called WaterWise. And what our app allowed you to do was you could search for the water quality data in your city as well as any city across the world. And it allowed users to view and understand this data. And our app aimed to ensure safe water for all across the world.
So on behalf of all the students, I want to express my deepest gratitude to you once again. Your support didn't just make an event possible, it empowered Columbus's next generation of innovators, problem solvers, and change makers. Thank you for investing in their potential and believing in their future. Thanks.
Lisa, let me just also say thank you to you for your many years of leadership with TechCorps. You've been at the front line of this organization since the inception here in Central Ohio, and it's just tremendous to see so many young people thrive in technology, and to see their faces light up when they're talking about the apps that they created. And as you both said, that potentially could change the world, that potentially could have a tremendous impact. And I want to just encourage young people here with you today and all of those who are in the program to stay with it. We need you. We need your mind. We need your effort, and we need your, in your words, big ideas to help us do what we do and make not just Central Ohio better, but the world. So, nice job, guys, and Lisa. Thank you so much for what you've done. Anything?
Just to say, Lisa, it's always so encouraging when you come. I have a young man who's my son, who's, he's one of these young people. He's, he built his own computer off of YouTube, and he gave this year for Christmas, he gave all of his gaming buddies gifts that he built or that he printed off of his 3D printer. Gaming, cases that he built. These little cases for all their games. It took him 16 hours to print each of these things on his 3D printer, but he gave all of his buddies one for Christmas, and he's one of your young people. He's just like them, and so whenever you come in here, I get excited for the stories that you tell and the inspiration that these kids are, because I have one at home. So it's always fun and interesting for me to make these investments, because I got one in my house. So anyway, it's great to see you here again, and it's always great to hear these inspirational stories.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Grady. And so this year, TechCorps turns 30. So a big year for us. But one of the things I will share with you all too about the hackathon is a lot of you might remember Casey Wilson, who was a TechCorps student for a number of years in a number of programs that you all helped support. And Casey, graduated from high school, went on to major in computer science, was a software developer for a while, and now she is a teacher she's a computer science teacher at Downtown High School. A number of the students that were at the hackathon were students that are in Casey's class at Downtown High School because she knew the impact of this. And so I just, again, want to thank you because you are making these early investments that are growing up this next generation with the talent and skills we need. And I was just sharing with Carmen that I understood another one of our TechCorps students spoke at the Martin Luther King breakfast yesterday as well. So again, these are some wonderful, dynamic young people that we have the opportunity to work with. And again, we couldn't do it without your support, so thank you.
Commissioner, I think DZ.
Thank you, Commissioner. Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator. Thank you, Lisa, so much for today. Are there other students that you brought with you today?
There are.
Can we ask them to stand up just so we all can see them?
Yes, please.
You all came all the way down here in the cold. We want to see who you are. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I think we all should commend each and every one of you. This is not easy stuff. So thank you all so much for all that you do.
And then we'll come up and take a picture. I want to ask the rest of the other young people to come up and join us.
Come on up, guys.
Parents, you can stand up in the aisle and get you a good shot, like don't feel right here, yeah? Yes, you came all the way down here in the cold, we're gonna make sure you get that good shot. And then after they do this, can we get the parents to get a picture with the commissioners?
He's still in school.
I'm gonna have you all slide in. Can you all slide in underneath the Franklin County Board of Commissioners sign so you're centered? Julian, keep going. Keep going, Julian. And that's good. Now come on in this side. Perfect. And if y'all could kind of turn in towards each other and squeeze you in a little bit. So if you turn sideways, perfect. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go for it, parents. And then as soon as they're done, we'll have the parents hop up.
Yep.
She's a parent. Oh, good. So she can take her photo and hop in.
Yeah.
All parents.
Isabella has it. Isabella, you have it? Thank you.
Stagger in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hang on, I'm gonna get mine. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations, parents, too. All right, last but not least, January is National Blood Donor Month, a vital time to recognize life-saving impact of blood donation. This month honors selfless donors and emphasizes the ongoing need for blood donations to support emergency care, chronic disease management, and countless medical procedures. Here to share more about the importance of this month is Karen Washbush, Executive Director of the Columbus Chapter of the American Red Cross. Karen, oh, you're already at the podium. There you are.
Good morning. First and
morning.
foremost, thank you so much for your partnership and your support of the Red Cross mission. As was mentioned, January is National Red Cross Donor Month, Blood Donor Month, and we want to honor and celebrate all individuals who donate blood and platelets. The beginning of the year is a very critical time to collect blood. There's a lot of cancellations with snow emergencies. We also are challenged with so many people working a hybrid model or even remotely. So a lot of those corporate blood drives are not pulling in the volume that we used to pull in. So we want to encourage anyone to donate blood who's eligible. Surprisingly, only 60% of our population can donate blood, and of that 60%, only 1% do. So it's very important. 25% of our blood goes to cancer patients. So if you know somebody who has cancer, I lost my life partner to cancer. Other family members have cancer and friends. It's very near and dear to my heart. Also, if you know anybody who has sickle cell, oftentimes they receive blood transfusions every single month. So it's important that we diversify our blood supply. We provide, just right here in our region, we have to supply 500 units of blood every single day. So I am strongly encouraging you, if you can donate blood, go to redcrossblood.org. There's an app also you can download, and you can do your pre-check-in. That'll save you a little time. Make your appointment, and then after you donate blood, you can actually follow your donation and see where it ends up. So it might end up at Mount Carmel Children's Hospital. We provide blood to 39 of the hospitals in the area. So very important. If you're not able to donate blood, I encourage you to promote it with your friends, family, on social media. I can assure you that if something happens to one of us on our way home tonight, our loved ones want that blood to be on the shelf. Also, I want to talk about disaster. That's in the forefront of people's minds with the LA wildfires. Recently, we had the hurricanes. But right here at home, and actually nationally, our biggest disaster is home fire. So we not only respond to home fires, but we are very focused on home fire prevention. We install year-round, we install free smoke alarms and do home fire education. But this spring, we do a program called Sound the Alarm. And we will be on March 29th, which is a Saturday. We invite volunteers to come out and install free smoke alarms with us with the Columbus Division of Fire. And on April 5th, we'll be also installing smoke alarms, April 5th, which is a Saturday, with Clinton Township Fire Department. So if you're interested, go to redcross.org and sign up. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. And there are no words to really show the gratitude of this community for the Red Cross. I'm going to guess that there's probably no one that hasn't had some loved one or someone in their family not be impacted by the need of additional blood.
Right.
I'm just going to guess that's the case, or it's a very high percentage. And so it's one of those things that you don't realize is there until you need it, and you don't realize there's a shortage until you need it. And so I was driving back from out of town recently in the storms. I noticed a bunch of cars on the side of the road, and there was one in particular came past where it was upside down. The car was completely mangled, and the EMS was MT were on the site with the jaws of life trying to get into the person. And I think about moments like that
Right.
For the Red Cross, and more importantly, I think about the families who get the news of that person on the side of the road. And I don't know what the outcome of that particular situation was, but to know that if there was a need for blood, that it was available, and it could be the difference between life or death. And so, so thank you for what you do. Thank you for all the folks who serve the American Red Cross, and then also to the public. I don't give blood as much as I should, and they just reminded me that's something I'm going to make a point to do in 2025. So thanks for being here.
They will call you. We don't
Yeah, I
let
know.
up.
I said that now. They're like, Boy said he's going to do it. You know what we ought to do? What we ought to do is we have the bio thing here once a year, and we should allow the Red Cross to be here too, and if people want to give blood, so we have it where you have to, for wellness check, you have to come to, and they have it in, well, I guess we won't be in that room this year, because it's taken. But we'll have it somewhere, and, as we do bio, the nurses are there checking your vitals and doing all that stuff. But I think it'd be worthwhile to have the American Red Cross there.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll definitely follow up. We do have blood drives here, but we'll pair it with
Yeah, I mean,
exactly
that's
what you're
just
talking
easy, 'cause
about.
You're
Absolutely.
already coming down to get some stuff,
Absolutely.
you're already getting poked with needles and all that, so.
Absolutely, we'll
Why
follow up
not?
with Human Resources.
Yeah.
So Karen, thanks for being here. I've had a couple of occasions in my life to need many units of blood. And so what the Red Cross does is absolutely life-saving. And, 25 years ago when I had emergency open heart surgery, I have no idea how many units of blood they gave me. I was in a coma for a month, so I don't have any recollection. But I know a couple years ago, these guys will all remember I was in the hospital in April and had a weird situation and ended up needing 9 units of blood. Woke up that morning, had no idea, had no
Right.
idea what was, but ended up, my wife and the nurse were there. They both walked out and said, okay, I'll see you in a little while. They left, my wife left, went to the office, and the nurse left and, went on her rounds. And, I walked into the restroom and, immediately started throwing up blood. And the next thing I know, they're pumping 9 units of blood into me. So the idea that, when people donate blood, and we see these blood drives on TV, and that kind of effort is crucial, and it's not just, Commissioner Boyce tells the story of seeing the accident on the freeway. It could be for anyone. It could be for any of our loved ones. It could be for, it could, so, donating blood is, it's vital, and it's for, whether it's the LA fires, the disaster, the shootings in New Orleans on New Year's Eve. There's just so many reasons and so many needs, and you never know when it could be you or one of your loved ones that needs that blood. And so, I think it's a fantastic idea, Commissioner. I think we should have. We have so many people in this building on a regular basis, whether our employees or there are the folks that are coming in and out of this building on a regular basis. I think we should have an annual or a regular blood drive here. I think it's a great idea, and I think we should absolutely work on putting it together.
Absolutely, and Commissioners, and we do have blood drives, but we will increase them. So
Yeah.
we want to assure you, we do have blood drives here, and we work closely
Right.
with your organization.
Absolutely.
But I love the fact of trying to pair it with a biometric screening. I think it's a fabulous idea, and we'll follow up, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to convenience too, like, making it easy for people to do,
Right.
And when you're in your house, you may not go down for just the blood drive, but there's a lot of incentive in going to the biometric screening, because we give actual, like, bonuses for people who do biometric screening. So most people go down and get theirs if they haven't already got them. And so it really is just, to Commissioner O'Grady's point, it's one of those things that we can always do better. And I think
Yeah.
we should do the best we can.
Yes, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady. Additionally, was just tossing around the idea with some team members about adding this as a wellness incentive. We have various wellness incentives through our Thrive On program, so we can make doing a donation as well as a wellness incentive. So I intend to follow up with our HR and benefits director to see about doing that. Because we have as you point out, Commissioner Boyce, we have multiple opportunities during the biometric screening period for people to sign up, so to create additional, it'd be multiple opportunities. So we definitely look into that, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Boyce, yeah.
That's a really quick question, I'm sorry.
Please.
Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator. How often are you supposed to give blood?
Every 56 days.
Every
If
56.
you're eligible,
Okay.
yes.
And you said 60% of the population is eligible, 1% of the population does not do it. What is,
No, you're close. 60% of the population is eligible. Of that 60%, only 1%.
okay,
So we're talking a very, very small percentage donate.
Why do you think that is?
Convenience. I think people think this is going to happen to somebody else, and other priorities, step forward. Just taking that time. You think I appreciate your testimony because you think of those major disasters, the LA wildfires, the shootings, things like that. You don't think it's going to happen to you until it does. And I can assure you that if you talk to your friends and loved ones, somebody has received blood. So it's getting the word out, how important it is, how easy it is. And a big thing is fear. People are afraid of those needles. I have family members that are just scared to death as much as I push. We have a great video for first-time blood donors. And when you see little kids that come in and give a testimony saying that you saved my life because you gave blood, how much more powerful can it be?
Commissioner Boyd.
Yeah, please, Mr. Wilson.
Ms. Washburn, one more question. Do you all do donations for your efforts, like when there's fires, through combined charitable campaign, for example? Are you all participants or signed up for that?
We are, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that is one area where I don't think a lot of people know that the Red Cross provides valuable services in the community. I remember many years ago, I had a family member that lived in an apartment complex, and there was a major fire. And I remember driving them down to receive services. And that's a very important function that you all serve. And every time I drive down Broad Street and pass by your building, I remember that event and how the Red Cross helped so many individuals. So we think about these major events, but apartment complex fires are so common.
It's all the time. I mean, every night it seems like we're responding to a home fire. So we are there. We don't monitor when the fires happen. We wait for the fire departments to call us. We have very strong relationships with the fire departments. They call us, let us know we're on the scene. We provide temporary shelter if need be, some financial support to get their feet on the ground, because you're running out of your house. You have less than 2 minutes to get out of the house. And so you're running out with no cell phone. What if you don't have your wallet? How do you get a driver's license? How do you get an ID card? We'll walk with people through that journey. So it's not just that night that we provide the sheltering and things of that nature, but we will help them along their journey as well.
Yeah, I just had, Mr. Wilson, I'm glad you brought that up. I was in a fire as a kid, and I remember, it was wintertime, and I remember the Salvation Army and the Red Cross being on the scene. Our family took us in, and we ended up in a nice warm place that night. So I definitely, out of all the things I remember about the fire, I remember that very well, that the Salvation Army and Red Cross were on the scene, which
Definitely.
is quite amazing when you think about it. And because it all happened so quickly
Right.
for the family. You wake up, it's 2 a.m, and there's smoke everywhere, and you're just trying to get out, and in the process, you're trying to figure out where everyone is, so you
Right.
don't really, in the midst of a fire, you don't really know what's going on. You're just trying to get to the exit. And I was upstairs, and it was very smoky. So you get out, you don't have clothes on because it's the middle of the night. You're just trying to
Right.
get out the house.
Right.
So no shoes, no coats, no nothing. And it's like the weather is today. And there's nothing like the feeling of those sirens coming down the street to someone to save you and help you, but then also someone putting a blanket around you and giving you something warm to drink, and then helping us find a place to go. So again, thank you for what you represent, what you do.
And that's why those smoke alarms are so important when we do the Sound the Alarm program, because we also talk about home fire education and having a safe meeting place, because you don't want one person running out the back door, somebody else out the front door, and then thinking, oh, somebody didn't get out of the house and running back in. So yes, very important.
Yeah.
And I'd like to encourage all of you to come and take a tour of the blood lab. It is one of the 5 largest in the country. I think it's about number 3, and it's one of the top 10 in the world. So if you'd like to come and take a tour, we'd welcome you.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that.
It's very,
I'm
no,
not sure I want to do
please.
the Blood Lab thing, but might be a little much for me, but, on the blood side, but I'm sure it's wonderful. I'm sure it's really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All
And
right.
Before we move on with
Please.
the approval of the minutes, it's, I'm a little bleary-eyed this morning because we still stayed up late and watched that game.
Right, yeah. What
So,
game?
yeah, well, we talk about
Game?
football.
What
We
game?
do talk about football here a lot, in
We're on
the
the same
general
side,
session.
though, this time.
Yeah,
I think.
so I think maybe congratulations to the Ohio State University football team is in order. But the other thing that I would mention that's kind of pretty cool about the Buckeyes winning last night is that, for the purposes of what we do here as Franklin County Commissioners, Coach Day, congratulations to Coach Day. Coach Day is a huge advocate for mental health and mental health services. And so on top of the fact that, our team won last night, and truth be told, I'm also a big Notre Dame fan. But it was pretty easy to root for the Buckeyes last night, even though I do spend my entire season rooting for Notre Dame as well.
That's why I
rooting-
said I think we're on the same side.
Yeah, rooting for Ohio State last night was pretty easy because I'm a big fan of Coach Day and what he does on a regular basis, not only for the players, but what he does in his off time on behalf of mental health services. He's somebody that's easy to root for. So congratulations to the Buckeyes and congratulations to Coach Day.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Commissioner O'Grady. I'm glad. I'm sorry. I failed to even think about that. And it should be noted that the coach for Notre Dame is from Ohio State, Marcus Freeman, and just what both organizations were just classy. in
Yeah,
the game.
easy
It
guy
was
to root
just-
for, too.
It was something. Yeah, it was easy. It was easy to watch the game, and there wasn't foolish antics happening, and it was really just a classic. But the thing I want to point out is we recognize the athletes every quarter, every season, I guess, and we tell them about adversity and attacking adversity, and I have to say, what an impressive overcome of adversity and perseverance by this year's Buckeye team, because I think when they lost to Michigan, we were all just kind of feeling like they're not the team, and this is the problem, and they took a lot of heat. And to overcome that is a big feat, because and I can't even imagine, I've never experienced that kind of stress in terms of athletics. But I can't think of a job more under the microscope than what Ryan Day does. And so to be able to pull together a national championship in a setup like we had this year with more teams and whatnot, that's a grueling schedule around. And they said that Ohio State beat more teams in the top 10 or top 5, I can't remember, top 5 in the history of college football, in 1 year. And so I just wanted to point out that because that's what, I feel like that's what this sort of Midwestern spirit is. I feel like that's what that Ohio spirit is that, we don't mind the grind. We don't mind the knuckle grueling kind of, it's like this weather. And they were talking about the weather. The guest from at the King breakfast yesterday, he was talking about, man, this weather, And I looked at him, I said, this is a nice day in January. Like this is not, you ain't seen nothing yet, buddy. But my point is that as Midwesterners, that kind of thing doesn't fit. It's cold. It's cold. It's snowing. We're here. We got work to do. We got things to do. And we're going to keep everyone safe. We need to cancel the schools and be smart about that. But at the end of the day, the grit that Ohio State showed, I think, is a grit that is a Central Ohio, Midwestern Ohio kind of grit that we all should be proud of and embrace and celebrate. And so you're right. Congratulations to those guys. But that's really a Central Ohio thing. It's like everybody's all nicer after the game. People are letting me over all easy today, waving, it's all, everybody's all friendly today, so we'll keep it going, hopefully. So go Bucks. All right. All right, let's rip through this. Is there approval of the minutes for the December 10th, 2024 administrative session?
Approval of the minutes. Move
Second.
approval of the minutes.
Moved
Second.
and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Thank you, the minutes have been approved.
All right, domestic relations.
Resolution number 3025, resolution authorizing a one-year contract with Quality Moments L.L.C. for behavioral health services for the reception center in the amount of $37,080.
Good morning, Commissioners. Julie
Morning.
Troth, Director of Programs and Services. This resolution is requesting the approval of a contract with Quality Moments to provide youth and families served through the reception center with expedited mental health assessments and referrals to court-contracted treatment providers. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 3025.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 3025 has been adopted. Resolution number 3125, resolution authorizing a contract with Capital University Law School in the amount of $39,500.
This resolution is requesting a contract approval with Capital University Law School to provide training for community volunteers for the Restorative Justice Circles. The Restorative Justice Circles is a community-based diversion program designed to provide an alternative response from the juvenile justice system for misdemeanor offenders. The program adheres to the restorative justice theory, which is based on the premise of accountability to the victim and the community. Restorative Justice Circles bring the juvenile offender, his or her parent, the victim, and members of the community together. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
Commissioners, can I just really quick on this one? Thank you, Julie. This is Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator. For those of you who do not know about juvenile justice circles, please make sure that you reach into the juvenile court. They would love to have great volunteers to participate in these juvenile circles. It's something that I personally have volunteered for. Unfortunately, young people make unfortunate decisions, find themselves in situations, and this is an opportunity for the village and the community to not only hold them accountable, but to restore them in the community in a very, I believe, social justice, but respectful way, so that, you know, the future of the young person can be one that is hopeful, but also with the victim in mind as well. So if you are eligible, and Julie, if you all can, you know, throw out your website or how folks can get involved, I don't think you can get enough volunteers for these juvenile circles.
Thank you, Joy. If you do go to the court's domestic relations website and you go to services that are available, if you look under community restorative circles, we actually have an application and contact information to link you with the court coordinator. Her name is Courtney Kellum. We're very excited to have her. She's one of our new members to our team, and we can be reached through that means.
Great. If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 3125.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 3125 has been adopted.
Thank you. Engineer?
Resolution number 3225, plans approved for the rehabilitation of the structure on Beach Road 0.00 over Big Darby Creek, Brown Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Hello, Commissioners. Adam Fowler, Franklin County Engineer. Our first resolution authorized plan approval for the rehabilitation of the structure on Beach Road over Big Darby Creek, located in western Franklin County and Brown Township. The project is funded through ODOT Local Major Bridge Program and seeks to repair the bridge, investigating and repairing grout voids and ducts, performing girder repair, and other various work. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
I grew up right around a corner from this bridge.
Aye.
If there are no further comments, I'll move approval of Resolution 3225.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 3225 has been adopted. Resolution number 3325, plans approved for the rehabilitation of the structure on West North Broadway, 1.18 over Olentangy River, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
This resolution authorized plan approval for rehabilitation of the structure on West North Broadway over Olentangy River. The project is funded through ODOT Local Major Bridge Program and OPWC dollars and seeks to repair the bridge by applying an overlay and installing a concrete barrier to provide a shared use path on the south side of the bridge and a sidewalk on the north side of the bridge. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 3325.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 3325 has been adopted. Resolution number 3425, DGL Consulting Engineers, LLC, consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer by providing engineering design services for the Williams Road, County Road number 123 at Spangler Road Improvement Project, Madison Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $440,318.
This resolution seeks approval of a contract with DGL Consultant Engineers appointed to assist Franklin County engineers with the detailed engineering service for the Williams Road at Spangler Road Improvement Project. DGL is a local certified ODOT DBE SBE engineering firm and was chosen via the engineer's qualified base selection. This project, funded with ODOT safety dollars, seeks to replace the stop-controlled intersection with a single-lane modern roundabout. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
There are no comments or questions. I'll move approval of Resolution 3425.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 3425 has been adopted. Resolution number 3525, preliminary allocation of county motor vehicle license fee funds to the city of Hilliard in the amount of $395,000.
The city of Hilliard has submitted a request for license fee funds to pay for the improvement of Alton and Darby Creek Road, beginning 850 feet south of Pinefield Drive and continuing northerly to 400 foot north of Heritage Lakes Drive. The county engineer has reviewed the proposed use of funds and has determined that they meet the allowable use. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 3525.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 3525 has been adopted.
Thanks, engineer. Next, child support enforcement.
Resolution number 3625, resolution authorizing a 4D contract with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $435,785.84.
Good morning, Commissioners. Susan Brown, Director representing the Child Support Program. This resolution authorizes the CSEA to enter into a one-year interagency agreement with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office beginning January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. The purpose of this contract is to reimburse the Sheriff's Office for expenses associated with the execution of warrants in civil, contempt, and criminal non-support cases, including activities associated with the extradition and execution of warrants in appropriate civil cases. These warrants typically occur when a resident is not complying with their child support order and will not engage with the program, despite numerous outreach efforts and use of its administrative remedies. Each unit of service defined as 1 hour or fractional hour of deputy time will be reimbursed at a rate of $104.76, with a total of 4,160 hours devoted to this contract. Pending any questions, I request the resolution be approved.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 3625.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 3625 has been adopted. Resolution number 3725, resolution authorizing a 4D contract with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office in the amount of $445,969.26.
This resolution requests your consideration in approving the Child Support Agency's interagency agreement with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office beginning March 1st, 25 through February 28th, 2026. The purpose of this contract is to reimburse the prosecutor's office for expenses associated with reviewing, preparing, and prosecuting eligible 4D or child support cases pursuant to 291921 of the Ohio Revised Code or criminal non-support. This is a case management remedy of last resort. These are cases where all outreach efforts and administrative remedies have failed. Cases are reviewed and referred to the prosecutor's office with the cooperation of the custodial parent if the non-custodial parent has failed to provide support for their child for a total accumulated period of 26 weeks out of 104 consecutive weeks, whether or not those weeks were consecutive. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I move approval of Resolution 3725.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 3725 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Economic Development Planning.
Resolution number 3825, resolution authorizing an affordable housing development agreement with National Church Residences to receive funding through the Magnet Fund program to assist in the development of an affordable housing project in the amount of $900,000.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Administration. Walter Diller, Assistant Director, Economic Development and Planning. This resolution is for an affordable housing development agreement with National Church Residencies, or NCR, from the 2023 application round of the Magnet Fund program in the amount of $900,000. NCR is a nonprofit developer of affordable senior housing located at 2332 North Bank Drive, Columbus, Ohio, with over 23,000 units in 25 states. NCR has been developing, owning, and managing affordable housing since 1961. Under the terms of this agreement, NCR will deliver a 60-unit senior housing community to be known as Bretton Woods II, located at 2511 Bretton Woods Drive, Columbus, in the Northland neighborhood of Columbus. All 60 units will be affordable at 60% AMI, and with us today from NCR, we have Senior Project Leader Sarah Jane Steffes and her colleague Alex Clark. Pending any questions, absent of those, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
Mr. Diller, what's the overall cost of the project, overall amount of the project?
That I am not sure of the overall cost.
Oh, okay. Robin,
Turn to
online.
Robin.
Good morning. Sorry, could you repeat the question? I had a hard time hearing that.
Yeah, I was just curious what the overall amount of the project was.
The amount of the project, like the total development cost,
Correct.
it is a little over $18 million for the total development cost of this phase 2. This is for phase 2 of the project. Phase 1 of the project is currently under construction.
Great, thank you.
Walter, would you say this was in the Northland area?
Yes, it's 2511 Bretton Woods in the Northland neighborhood.
Gotcha, thanks.
No problem.
Great.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 3825.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 3825 has been adopted. Resolution number 3925, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to execute on behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for John D. Cooper and Heather L. Cooper at 3785 Tyler Drive, Columbus, Ohio 43232.
Yes, our second resolution, John D. Cooper and Heather L. Cooper received a housing assistance loan on July 6, 2012, in the amount of $15,000 from Franklin County Board of Commissioners. John D. Cooper and Heather L. Cooper are requesting to have the mortgage released. The original promissory note has not been located, and therefore the loan terms cannot be identified. However, based on the facts and available documentation, the Franklin County Prosecutor recommends a discharge of the mortgage as the loan terms are not enforceable. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 3925.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 3925 has been adopted. Resolution number 4025, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to execute on behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Timothy J. Jordan, trustee of the Edward J. Jordan Trust at 3737 Shoreline Drive, Columbus, Ohio 43232.
Timothy Jordan, trustee of Edward Jordan, received a housing assistance loan on October 28, 2014 in the amount of $15,000 from Franklin County Board of Commissioners. Edward Jordan and Timothy Jordan, trustee, are now both deceased. The successor trustee is requesting to have the mortgage released. The original promissory note has not been located, and therefore the loan terms cannot be identified. However, based on the facts and available documentation, the Franklin County Prosecutor recommends a discharge of the mortgage as the loan terms are not enforceable. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
I don't.
These
wanna
are- yeah,
really-
these are-
This is crazy. So why, how is it, and I know you weren't here for this, Walter, so I'm not directing this at you, really, just trying to understand, how do we not collect the promissory note in a loan?
So what we've done is we've checked CRMS to check for past resolutions, our community partners, Homeport, Morpsey, to see if they have any promissory notes, the homeowners to see if they have any promissory notes. We've even went and got old previous staff's emails to see if they're floating somewhere in the ether, and we have not been able to find them.
Yeah, I
I'll
just don't
direct
know
it
how
over
you
to
do a
Janine
loan
Hummer.
without it, you know, like, and I mean,
You know, I've been here for 17 years, or going on 17 years now. These are the first two that I recall us not being able to, you know. So I'm
Janine
sorry, go
Hummer,
ahead,
First
Janine.
Assistant Chief Counsel for the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office on behalf of Prosecutor Favor. There have been others. You may not have remembered those, but what we have found as from a standpoint of what is the problem is these promissory notes were not recorded. So you are looking for paper copies of the promissory note, and those have not yet been found. And as indicated by Walter Dillard, we cannot enforce the loan when we don't have the original agreement with the terms of that loan.
I mean, I know that for it to be a fact. You cannot.
Recall us doing this before.
If the bank doesn't have a copy of a promissory note for someone who holds a mortgage, you can't, they don't have to pay that mortgage. That's just the law. So you have to have it. But how could we give a loan without that? I mean, because that would be, the lien would be based on the promissory note. So I'm not blaming anybody, but the program is not in operation anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
Correct.
Going forward.
What we think by our investigation is that the documents related to the loan were completely shifted to another entity, sometimes Morpsey, and they had a different disposal process, it's my understanding, and some of those documents were destroyed or shredded after a certain date. So we should have kept a copy or recorded a copy. We know that, and for any of our current practices with economic development and planning, those processes are in place, and every document is now recorded for everything we do, including the most recent loan or grant that you passed recently.
Yeah, I mean, and the Records Commission should be on top of that too, so that's a little bit disturbing. But because, and the way I see it is that, you know, most of these come back and people have fulfilled the obligations of the agreement, and so that's, I think the vast majority of them are that. But you know, I take these seriously because these are public funds and they deserve to go back into the public investment. I'm all for programs like this, no question, but to not be able to enforce an agreement because we don't have the correct documentation is a failure on our part as an institution, and we should just do better. I mean, it's a moot point now, but and I agree with you 1,000%. You can't enforce it if you don't have that is the law. You can't enforce it because if you don't have it. You know, again, I know this from the banking side of things, but goodness.
Commissioners, I will share that both the prosecutor's office and economic development and planning, we both jointly have spent hours and hours trying to locate in the history of these loan agreements, and we just didn't look in our drawer. We really penetrated as far as we could go to try to find those, because we are well aware of the public fund issue.
And again, I would be very clear to the prosecutor and to the folks who are leading EDP now. This is long before any of you guys were around, so I can appreciate that. But man, it's troubling.
Absolutely. And Janine, there may have been others, but I mean, I just asked the administrator. I have zero recollection of us ever having a situation like this before.
I thought the first one was like.
We
recent.
have had,
Yeah, it was just
we've
recent.
had, we've had probably 5 or 6 that have come through with similar circumstances.
If it was, I wasn't. It was when I wasn't here.
Yeah, and
'Cause I
that could be
remember-
that you weren't here.
And I thought it was like a one-time thing then. So now we're having
That-
more. So I think he was out, but I thought it was even then kind of we stumbled upon this. And are there more to come like this?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I don't,
Commissioner Administrator.
Mr. Dillard, I would ask, when it's all said and done, you can get a report, just some kind of not the amount of that we have basically not been able to collect the report. And some of these are legit. These people are deceased, and, you know, it would have probably turned out that way anyways, but,
And these are usually very small amounts. It's not like these are
That's why I
loans
want to know
of
what they
hundreds
add
of
up to.
thousands of dollars.
That's why I
Yeah.
want to know what they add up to.
Yeah, these are usually very small amounts.
I'll get something and send it to all of you guys' office.
Thank you. Administrator Wilson has a comment.
Oh, Commissioner Wilson, please.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady. Yeah, these many times have been seen as procedural, and there's been a lot of age on them. But I don't recall, as I stated, Commissioner O'Grady, this coming out like this, or we would have had that conversation, the conversation we're having right now, about the documentation. But I think we need to, like, harvest all of these. We've also had changes in agency consolidation during periods of time while these programs, and then as a prosecuting attorney chief said, Hama noted, we also had a period of time where we had another entity we were contracted with, Morpsey, to handle these administration of certain programs here. So it's been a lot of change, but I think it's important, as Commissioner Boyce has asked, that we have documentation when all of this said and done of the total amount that was forgiven due to not having the promissory note in place, so that we have it, you know, in our records.
Okay, and I'll add you to that too, Administrator Wilson.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Assistant Director Dillard.
Thanks.
Pending any more questions, respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
Sorry, that was, lost track of which one that was. Was that
That was for John
30.
Cooper and Heather Cooper.
3920? All right.
We're on 40.
Oh,
We're on
no,
40.
sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4025.
second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4025 has been adopted. Resolution number 4125, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to execute on behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Susan D. Foster at 2871 Palisades Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43207.
Susan D. Foster received a housing assistance loan on February 17th, 2017, in the amount of $3,061.60 from the Franklin County Board of Commissioners. The property owner defaulted on the loan and has now, per terms of the note, paid the full amount of the loan plus interest in the amount of $3,730.41 to the county, and therefore the mortgage should be discharged. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4125.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4125 has been adopted. Resolution number 4225, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to execute on behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Attica A. Stokes at 1972 Ironton Drive, Columbus, Ohio, 43228.
And for our final resolution, Commissioners, Attica A. Stokes received a housing assistance grant on December 22nd, 2021 in the amount of $15,000 from Franklin County Commissioners. The loan has been paid off via check, and therefore the mortgage should be discharged. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4225.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4225 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jobs and Family Services.
Resolution number 4325, resolution approving a subaward agreement with Asbury North United Methodist Church on behalf of the Central Ohio Parent Leadership Training Institute to promote positive parenting and engagement in the amount of $99,995.60.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Carmen Barnes, Assistant Director, Job and Family Services. Asbury North United Methodist Church will operate as the fiscal agent for the Central Ohio Parent Leadership Training Institute. The mission of the institute is to increase parent involvement with children while promoting their lifelong health, safety, and learning. Programmatic emphasis is placed on providing parents with social-emotional resources and tools to empower positive parenting, problem-solving, and engagement in effective conflict resolution. During the prior award period, 50 Franklin County residents completed the parent leadership training, and through this award, the program plans to serve a minimum of 67 families from neighborhoods on the Near East Side, Linden, and the South Side of Columbus. This subaward agreement aligns with the Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 13, and pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
Commissioners, if I could just really quick. Carmen, how are these parents identified? Do you know? You can get it back to me.
I will
Yeah.
need to follow up with you on that.
Okay, and then the last thing is, if you can get more information, we may want to incorporate this organization into the mental health summit.
Great, we'll do that.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4325.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4325 has been adopted. Resolution number 4425, resolution approving a subaward agreement with the Educational Service Center of Central Ohio on behalf of the Franklin County Family and Children First Council for the Partnership for Success Youth Practitioner Training Services in the amount of $210,000.
The Educational Service Center of Central Ohio serves as the fiscal agent for the Franklin County Family and Children First Council, who also manages the Partnership for Success initiative. The initiative focuses on building a community of equity-driven practitioners focused on strengthening social, emotional, and academic outcomes for Franklin County youth. P4S collaborates with local school districts and provides training and support to youth-serving agencies. They are working with over 40 agencies throughout Franklin County, including after-school and summer camp providers, and they also provide cognitive coaching training for agencies offering the AMP, or Achieve More and Prosper, Education and Employment Service Program. Under this subaward agreement with Educational Service Center, I'm sorry, I already said that. This resolution aligns with Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 11, and pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4425.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4425 has been adopted. Resolution number 4525, resolution approving a subaward agreement with TechCorps Ohio for a youth technology program in the amount of $350,000.
Since 2015, our agency has partnered with TechCorps Ohio to expose youth to computer science learning experiences and career in technology. Through these partnerships, youth have the opportunities to make connections between the technology they love and the education and career pathways associated with the creation of technology. As you noticed earlier, TechCorps exposes students who are often underrepresented in the technology careers through this programming. Through this award, TechCorps will offer the Computer Career Core Program, which is a 15-week program that provides 9th and 10th grade students with 45 hours of training in coding, hardware, 3D printing, cybersecurity, and technology career exploration. Students also have the opportunity to earn work-based learning credentials and digital badges. During the last award period, 100 students completed the Computer Career Program, and under this agreement, TechCorps will also enroll another 100 youth in the program. This resolution aligns with the Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 11, and pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4525.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4525 has been adopted. Resolution number 4625, resolution approving a contract with United Way of Central Ohio Incorporated for tax preparation services in the amount of $75,000.
Tax Time provides free tax assistance services and connects Franklin County residents to financial education and savings opportunities. Services have helped qualified households claim valuable tax deductions and avoid tax preparation fees, with the goal of placing residents on a path to financial stability. Since its inception in 2007, Tax Time volunteers have prepared and processed over 189,000 tax returns, helping Central Ohio families claim more than $204 million in tax refunds and save over $40.2 million in tax preparation fees. During the 2025 season, Tax Time will utilize the Lutheran Social Service 211 Central Ohio Information and Referral Service to refer eligible residents to tax assistance sites in libraries, community centers, and social service agencies. And this year, the program plans to prepare about 14,000 tax returns for Franklin County residents. Residents with household incomes of up to $67,000 are eligible for Tax Time services and can begin scheduling appointments through 211 beginning next Monday, January 27th. They also have the ability to create appointments and do self-scheduling by visiting liveunitedcentralohio.org/tax time. This resolution supports goal number 7 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4625.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4625 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 4725, resolution reconciling 2025 non-general fund appropriations to align with the amended certificate of estimated resources.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Telerik with the Office of Management and Budget. Division A4 of Section 5705.36 of the Revised Code requires an amended certificate of estimated resources when the estimated resources fall below the level of current appropriations. This resolution includes a decrease of appropriations within 3 funds and an increase in revenue estimates of 14 others in order to ensure that the total appropriations for each fund do not exceed estimated resources. In addition, supplemental appropriations within 16 funds are required due to expenditures that were originally anticipated for 2024 carrying forward to 2025. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4725.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4725 has been adopted. Resolution number 4825, resolution by the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to reject the collective bargaining agreement between the Franklin County Sheriff's Office and Fraternal Order Police, Capital City Lodge Number 9.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Teresa Dean, here today on behalf of the prosecuting attorney Shayla D. Faber and at the request of Sheriff Baldwin. The Sheriff's Chief Financial and Human Resources Officer, Dave Masterson, is also available via Zoom if you have any questions. For the past several months, the Sheriff's Office has been negotiating with the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 9, on a successor collective bargaining agreement. We reached a tentative agreement, which was provided to you for review pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 4117.10. Under Ohio's Public Sector Bargaining Agreement, or Bargaining Law, Revised Code Section 4117.06, the supervisors, sergeants, lieutenants, and captains of the Sheriff's Office cannot be in the same bargaining unit as deputies. And therefore, although historically the units have had the same bargaining agreement, the supervisors and deputies have had to separately approve the agreement each bargaining unit cycle. When the 2 units voted on the agreement, the deputies approved the contract and the supervisors did not this year. And that brings us to this resolution. On behalf of the prosecuting attorney and the sheriff, I'm recommending that you reject the tentative agreement that the parties agreed to. After decades of having a single agreement, it would be unworkable to have 2 conflicting agreements governing the workforce, and it would prevent the parties from reaping the full benefit of their bargain. If you approve this resolution today and reject the tentative agreements, we are prepared immediately to go back to the table and resume bargaining with the union on an agreement that is agreeable to all the parties. Pending any questions, we respectfully request that you approve this resolution rejecting the agreement.
So we're voting yes to reject it?
Correct.
So we don't have to vote no, okay.
Vote yes to vote no. If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4825.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4825 has been adopted. Resolution number 4925, resolution reappointing Jeffrey H. Sopp to the Franklin County Parks and Recreation Board of Trustees.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Administration. Michael Ruhrman, Assistant Director of Community Appointments. We have 3 resolutions today. This first one is a resolution reappointing Jeffrey H. Sopp, a member in good standing, to the Franklin County Parks and Recreation Board of Trustees. for a term expiring January 21st, 2028. Pending any questions, we respectfully ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 4925.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 4925 has been adopted. Resolution number 5025, resolution appointing Andrew Thomas, M.D., to the County Hospital Commission of Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, this resolution appoints Dr. Andrew Thomas to the County Hospital Commission of Franklin County, Ohio, for a term expiring January 21st, 2031. Pending any questions, we respectfully ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 5025.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 5025 has been adopted. Resolution number 5125, resolution appointing Jean G. Harshaw to the Board of the Franklin County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Commissioners, our final resolution is to appoint Jean G. Harshaw to the Board of the Franklin County Board of Developmental Disabilities for a term expiring January 26, 2029. Pending any questions, we respectfully ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 5125.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 5125 has been adopted.
Great. Thank you. Are there any generalizations?
There are not.
All right, well, that concludes our meeting. Have a great week, everyone.